All right, we are recording, Marty. Oh, now we're recording. All right, we are finally filming today. Do you know what that means, Marty?
That means that we are filming.
Yes, so I'm Raphi Salem, and you are?
I am Marty Katz.
That's right, and today is the first day ever that we've done about, how many podcasts, like 5?
I would say about 5.
About 5, and how many have I gotten up on the website? That's the other one.
All of them.
No, I think I missed one.
You missed one.
I think I missed one. So now you can all see. I know all of these people watching this video have listened to our podcast.
I'm sure, and we audited you, so we know that you've done this. We have our people watching you online.
So this is very exciting for me because, as you know, I need a lot of attention. And
you're going to get it right here.
Right.
On this podcast.
On BizDevLeaders.com.
That's us.
That is the name of our website. Anyway, so every week or so, we get together and we talk about current events. We talk about business development, business leadership, business leaders. And today, for the first time, I'm filming, and I'm actually going to put it up on YouTube.
Can't wait. Our own YouTube channel.
Our own YouTube channel. So the funny thing is, last week we interviewed Joseph Katz.
No relation.
No relation. He's with Kettle Space, but he's had a long career in marketing and business development and business itself. And I had the camera. I had the camera all set up, and I never pressed the button. So what does that make me, Marty?
All dressed up and nowhere to go. Exactly.
Okay, so that's...
It makes you human.
It makes me human.
Which we knew already, but
Yes.
now we're sure of it.
Okay, all right. And now everyone knows what we look like. So I've been taking pictures. Oh, I didn't take our selfie.
Well,
Yeah.
there's plenty of time for selfies later.
Okay, so we're definitely going to take the selfie and we're going to do it that way.
For sure.
But today, I want to ask you a very serious question.
I'm seriously ready for it.
Are you ready?
I am.
So the question is, did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did.
Okay. And paint a picture for me, Marty. What does Marty Katz do? Do you have like 20 friends from college who are all like big muscle-bound football heads that get together and you drink beer and you watch it on your big screen? Paint a picture for me.
So I do have all those friends, but they don't come over for football.
Okay.
We usually go out to the park somewhere and look to see if we can, find a rabbit that we can wrestle with. That's what we typically do in Central Park.
Wrestling rabbits.
That's what we wrestling have every Sunday during the summer. Wrestling rabbits. That's our regular gig.
I don't know if this is a joke or not.
Have you found any rabbits in Central Park?
That's a really good point.
You haven't, because we've got them all. We take them to a special rabbit farm in Secaucus.
The funny thing is, up in Westchester where I live, there are a lot of rabbits, a lot of cute bunny rabbits that are just hanging out with the squirrels and the birds.
Well, that's good for them that they can manage to do that.
It's very
very expensive real estate up there. So.
It's very rural, but I guess you've taken care of the bunny rabbit
We
problem.
did.
In
Central Park.
In Central Park. So anyway, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
Right.
Because what's happening to my computer, Marty?
I do not know.
I
was not looking.
Aren't you the tech person?
I'm definitely your tech support.
All right. So that is not the picture. So paint the picture.
The picture is that I like to watch the commercials.
Okay.
Now I know I can watch the commercials before, after, but it's fun to have popcorn and
in real time.
Popcorn and green tea.
Yeah.
And watch the commercials while it's taking place.
Wait, popcorn, green tea, and beer?
And no beer.
No beer.
It's too early in the day for beer. We don't roll out the beer until about 11 p.m.
Okay, you and your wife.
That's right.
And who else is in the room?
This past time it's just the two of us. Sometimes our children will come,
okay,
but they're very busy. They couldn't make it.
All right. So So why don't you ask me what I did?
Okay, so Raphi,
Yeah.
I know that you're very athletic in many important
I am.
ways.
I am.
And I
athletic.
know that you're a big softball player.
I am softball.
And I
player.
know that you like sports in general.
True.
And you work out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so what about you on Super Bowl Sunday? What were you doing with all your musclehead guys?
Thank you for asking. I want you to know that it is related to my softball playing. That I was invited for the first time in my life to a softball friend's Super Bowl party at his house. And it was an honor and it was a pleasure, and he will never listen to this podcast. So
Will he
won't-
invite you back? That's
Yeah,
the important thing.
I don't think I caused any trouble.
Well, that's unusual
I don't
for
think-
you.
But anyway, these are about 10 guys who all went to law school together 35 years ago. And they've been getting together for the Super Bowl just to watch and eat the main thing is during halftime, he serves cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Yeah, it's very similar to a Shavuos meal. I don't know if anyone in our audience knows what Shavuos is, but anyway, it's the dairy holiday. So anyway,
Did they have any cows walking through the living room
there
at
were
the time?
no cows
Any
walking in the
goats?
living room,
Sheep?
or goats or sheep, but it was really nice. It was really nice, and they're all into football, and they've got their boxes, and they all bet money on. I don't know how it all worked out. Like if you knew that it was going to be 10-10 at halftime, you won $150.
Excellent.
Do you and your wife have that?
No, we just
No,
watch
no.
the commercials.
And you don't bet? You don't bet on the commercials?
Oh, we are very fickle. In the beginning, we were for San Francisco, then we switched over to Kansas City.
Very fickle.
We are completely disloyal to teams.
Okay, that's unless it was in New York.
Of course, the team of New York would be our favorite.
You're a New York.
We are
guy.
completely.
Okay, all right. Anyway, so interestingly, Hyundai announced a new feature on their cars. It's called Smart Park. Now I'm saying Smart Park, because do you recall the commercial?
Yes, it was with a number of Boston-born actors, Rachel
Dratch.
Dratch,
Yes.
and two other guys. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. It might have been
Chris
people-
Evans.
Chris Evans. Oh, that's the guy I didn't know.
Chris
I
Evans.
was thinking more of that other
The other
guy.
guy.
It was not Vince Vaughn. Ben Affleck. Was he in it?
No, he wasn't. He's from Boston. He's not. Good try.
It was like Goodwill Hunting in a Hyundai commercial.
Something like that. It also had that baseball player.
I don't know.
Remember that?
I don't know who that is.
Sure, the guy who was shot from Dominican Republic.
I don't know his name. I'm
All
just
right,
saying.
all right.
I don't know his name.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is that when I ran my digital agency, Salem Global, I had a great client who became a friend, and he's still a friend, and not a client, not a paying client, but we talked about social media. I mean, I helped him build his website and his whole entire digital presence, and Gary Rome Hyundai, has one of the largest dealerships out of Holyoke, Massachusetts. So interestingly, last week before the Super Bowl, I saw the commercial on Facebook, because I'm a targeted guy when it comes to Hyundais. I own a Hyundai Sonata. And in addition, I am involved with Gary Rome Hyundai. So I had noticed on his corporate Facebook page, he had not had the Hyundai Sonata Smart Park commercial. So in Twitter, you retweet. In Facebook, I shared the commercial to his page.
Very good of you to do that.
Yes, because now, what is the name of our podcast?
BizDev Leaders.
Right, because let me ask you something, Marty.
Yes.
Is there a relationship between the Super Bowl commercials, and business development?
Well, I would say that the advertising that takes place is there to reach a significant number of consumers. And I think that the purpose is that there are so few opportunities for marketers to aggregate those numbers in a particular place. And so the Super Bowl comes in and is able to deliver those numbers. And that's what it does. That's what these great big events do. So that's the purpose of it.
Okay. I was going in a different direction.
Let's hear what your direction was.
My direction was that Gary Rome, getting back into the Hyundai
Right.
thing. Gary Rome has a very successful dealership in Holyoke, Massachusetts. He has salespeople on the lot. So now we've talked about this many times. What is the relationship between business development and sales? They are two separate things.
Correct.
Business development is planting the seeds so that you said you have a very poignant way of saying it.
Developing long-term relationships that are mutually beneficial that
Right.
lead to business growth for both parties.
Right. Business growth for both parties, but then sales is the actual transaction
Closing.
of closing the deal.
Right.
So to me, I was thinking, all right, you've got how many 100 million people watch the Super Bowl?
Hundreds of millions, that's correct.
Hundreds of millions around the world watch the Super Bowl, and they see a Hyundai Sonata commercial, and then magically Hyundai is put into people's brains, and they say, we do need a new car, and it's really hard to park in tight spaces. So Hyundai has come out with this new technology, and then they make a commercial about it that is educational, but also entertaining, with celebrity. So
Right.
now, then they've got influencers in that as well. So now, how does that reach the consumer? And then how does that seed planted reach the consumer? And then they go to the dealership, and then they have to talk to the salespeople. Like, to me, that's full circle.
That kind of advertising is one element of what marketers need to do. It can be very powerful if it's done properly. I don't know that they would drive people to Hyundai to make purchases, but I think it would certainly add to Hyundai's overall marketing efforts and their messaging efforts. I think it's a very good thing to do.
Okay.
So that it becomes more top of mind for people. That's the theory of it anyway.
Okay.
So that's what they do.
All right. Well, to me, from a social media perspective, from a digital marketing and social media perspective, having shared that commercial on Gary Rome's page,
Right.
where they have, I don't know how many hundreds and thousands of followers, if they think that it's entertaining, if they see it on the Super Bowl, during Super Bowl Sunday, if they see it during the game, and then they go to Gary Rome's Facebook page, and they are in the market, I think that contributes to the overall sale.
Oh, sure. It's definitely a part of the reach and frequency. Reach is the number of people. Frequency is the number of times. So if they see it on the Facebook page and they can see it on YouTube in addition, or see it in TV as part of a television pod elsewhere, that's all part of it. So absolutely, in aggregate, it can drive awareness for sure.
Okay. So I want to segue into, I think we talked about the Super Bowl enough.
I agree. More than enough.
More than enough. Okay, so I want to segue into events. Because I was asking you before, is the Super Bowl an event?
The Super Bowl is a media and entertainment and sports activity that is on TV.
Okay, now here's the follow-up question. Is getting together with your friends to watch the Super Bowl an event?
No, that is how consumers consume the media. They're consuming the message and they're consuming the entertainment in a group setting. That's not an event. An event is something that marketers plan, and there are three ways to do it. They can either host it, they can sponsor it, or they can actually lead it. And so those are all ways that it can actually happen. So an event is something where a marketer will bring in people to a particular location. Let's just say it's Fashion Week's coming up, as you well know.
Yep.
And so Fashion Week, there'll be private events, and that means that the media will be coming in. and selected prospects or even current clients will come into a private space to hear a conversation about something that relates to them, the invitees, and about their businesses. And that's what an event does. And it can be for consumers. There are plenty of trade shows that are open to consumers, but it's something that marketers can stage, in which they can either sponsor, which means they get top billing, they can host, which means they're responsible for the content, or they actually can lead if they're going to be participating.
All right. Marty, you have fallen into my trap, hook, line, and sinker. Because now, remember, it's being filmed, so when you shake your head like that and you're like, where's Raphi going with this?
Where's Raphi going with this?
I am leading you into talking about our events.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
You didn't know that, and
Very good.
now everyone on
Okay,
who's
so let's.
watching this.
So Raphi, tell us about the upcoming events that we know about.
Yes,
that we're
yes,
sponsoring.
yes.
What are we sponsoring?
Exactly. So before we get to the us, because nobody cares about you or me, Marty. They care about themselves. And the reason why Marty is laughing is because there are 3 things we learn in your business development workshops. Number 1, nobody cares about you. And when you say that, we're talking about your business in general. Nobody cares about you. There's so much competition and there's so much noise. And people don't need your product or service. They can go to Walmart or Target, or they could go to WeWork. They can go down the street and they can go to a restaurant. They can get what they need on their own.
Good.
But how do we clear through the clutter? That's a separate question. The bottom line is nobody cares about you, me, or us, or anyone. So, what's the second rule of marketing?
The second rule of marketing is they will only remember the problem you solve.
Right.
So that means that a lot of marketers will talk about their services, their products, their background, their procedures, their processes. No one will remember that. It's not important. They will only remember the problem that you solve. What is the problem you solve? Which only resides in the prospect's lives. It has nothing to do with the seller.
Right. And just to complete the circle, what's the third rule of marketing?
They won't do the work to figure it out. So if I'm hearing all these messages from someone who's telling me about their company, and I went to a network group last night, and a number of people were just telling me about their company.
Blah, blah,
blah. It was very hard for me to kind of figure it out. I said, I'm not really sure what you're saying. I was polite about it. I'm not really sure. Are you doing analysis, financial matters? Is that what you're doing? And so I had to kind of figure it out. So people don't do that.
All right.
They're just going to go to the bar and get a drink.
Yeah. So number 1, people don't care about you. Number 2 is they're not going to do the work.
The second thing is they only remember the problem.
They'll only remember the problem that they have.
Correct. That you solve.
And hopefully you solve it.
Correct.
And then they're not willing to do the work. They're not going to do the work.
Right.
So now that's when you come in and you say, aha, I have a solution.
Correct.
For you. So let's bring it full circle. We've already brought like 3 circles, full circle already.
Just like a Venn diagram?
Yes. So the thing I want to get to is going from the Superbowl to events to what you and I have put together, this business development workshop,
yes,
where people will come and they get a little taste of how you and I work.
Correct.
With their branding and their messaging, and learning the 3 rules of marketing, and the way that you have developed your own strategy.
Right, and let's add to that about your work, because we've not really mentioned too much about that.
Yep.
How would your work link in with what we just said?
Right. So in the world of digital marketing, there's SEO, there's SEM, there's social media, there's all of this stuff that's online that is just bringing out the message. Now, once again, it has to work together with the correct branding and messaging, because if you're marketing yourself in the incorrect way or in an ineffective way, no one's going to buy your services or your products. So really, we work together using the correct branding and messaging voice, and then putting it out there, putting it out on social media, on your website, in your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, on your YouTube, in your Instagram, everywhere where the message can be seen.
Right. So this is really, it's a 2-part process. I'm responsible for the what, or the design, meaning what is the message, what is the brand, and then what you do is you take that and you put it in front of the prospects.
Right.
So yours is the how. I'm the what and you're the
Yeah.
how.
Yeah.
How do you get your message in front of people? How do you engage them in purchase behavior activities?
Right.
To inquire about information, try it perhaps, go back and forth a couple of times with you
Yep.
as part of the process. And that's your responsibility to get them to come into the door, if you will.
Right, right. So now, we've already had 5 full circles.
Yes.
So now let's go on to our 6th full circle. And
Which is?
that is our event that's coming up.
Oh yes. Tell us about the event that's coming up.
So our event is Thursday, February 13th. We meet at 9 a.m. At WeWork. We are presently located at 205 East 42nd Street on the 20th floor. And you can find us on Meetup, and a very exciting announcement, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. You can find us on Meetup, but we also put together a LinkedIn event, and we distribute it across all channels with our new website, BizDevLeaders.com.
BizDevLeaders.com.
Yes, you got it. You said it correctly. So we bring in entrepreneurs and salespeople and business developers from all different types of industries.
Right.
And-
Right. And these people are themselves typically responsible for sales growth. So they really
Yes.
are our ideal client as well. And,
Right.
And so they learn in this workshop environment about how they can present themselves.
Right, but I want to allay any fears that this is a hard sell infomercial, like you have to buy it now, you have to buy it now.
There's no selling of any kind.
No selling of any kind. There's promotion,
There's discussion about,
discussion.
and that's about as marketing as we get.
Yes, right. Now, in addition to our business development workshop, the special announcement is that we met the CEO of Meetup, David Siegel, and we are going to have him join one of our business development workshops over the next couple of months, within the next couple of months.
That really is exciting. This
Yes.
is the guy that is really responsible for so many of the meetups that I'm sure that most of our listeners and viewers have attended.
Right, right. So that's very exciting. We don't have an exact date yet, but we're working on it.
And we will be sure to let you know as soon as we know.
Right. And then, in addition, we also have a BNI, a Business Network International group that meets on Wednesday mornings at 7 a.m. at the Cornell Club, which is 6 East 44th Street. I will be presenting on Wednesday, February 26th. So you are all invited.
Excellent. And what will the topic be that you're going to be
The
discussing?
topic is going to be about my present company, 5 Blocks Reputation Management, and I'm going to be talking about everything as it relates to websites. And what happens, the main topic is, what happens when people Google you, or Google your company, or Google the executives at your company? What's coming up on those Google results? Is it a positive display of your company? Meaning, when you Google someone or something or a company, you should see you should see your website, you should see your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Crunchbase, and your Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia is only for bigger companies that are notable and that can have a Wikipedia presence, but we work with all aspects of your digital landscape. My CEO likes to say that we are not exterminators. A lot of these digital reputation companies, they will come in and they'll try to demote the negative, flood the internet with positive articles about it. That's not the way we work. We work with Google and with Wikipedia within the framework of their guidelines to make the most positive experience that works for everyone, that works for the company as well as works for Google. So that's a little bit more about me and about us and our events coming up. And there was one other thing that we were going to talk about today. We could wrap it up on the terrible thing that's going on right now in international events, which is the corona virus. When we were talking about when we were talking about current events and what's going on in the world, we were talking about coronavirus. And I said, Marty, do you think that the coronavirus is affecting businesses worldwide and business development? What did you answer?
Well, the answer is yes, because it's having a big impact on the markets. It's having a big impact on trade, on a lot of purchase behavior activity by major countries around the world. It's definitely having an impact because people are afraid of what this might mean if this is going to be a real pandemic. It's going to have implications for consumer buying as well as corporate purchasing. All these things will be impacted by coronavirus.
Okay.
At least that's the philosophy du jour about that.
Right. And do you think that people drinking Corona will get the coronavirus?
I am not a medical professional, and I would say that if you want to drink beer, drink Corona. It's a good beer to drink.
Yeah. So that has
with
been
lime.
That has been the a lot of buzz in social media going on. Is that not really, shall we say, in the know people? I'm trying to be as politically correct as possible.
I understand what you're saying.
But people that don't really think about the broader things, they don't realize that Corona beer has nothing to do with coronavirus.
Correct.
So
they're all separate checks. It's all different.
Right, exactly.
One has
So
nothing to do with the other.
So I'm going to wish everyone well. Good health.
Me too. Good health to you.
Good health. It is February 6th.
February
So
6th.
we're in the. Can you believe we're in the second month
Yeah,
of the year
we're
already?
going
How
strong.
the heck is 2020 going so quickly?
And so well.
Quickly?
And so well.
And so well. Yes. Anyway, so Marty Katz, thank you very much for joining me again.
Raphi Salem, thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone that's
Thank you out there.
that's watching, whether you're watching on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube. Not going to be on Instagram, but that's okay.
That's
a
okay.
very, very different outlet.
It is.
Until next time, we've got some exciting things coming up.
Yeah,
We've
we
got
have some
people.
guests who will
Yeah.
be joining us.
Right.
So you'll be hearing from other people's points of view about their business development expertise and experience.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Have a good afternoon.
Okay, so now we are going to shut this camera off. So Marty, don't say anything that would cause the people listening to the podcast to think like they missed out on this. And I will
Not
just
miss
say,
anything.
thanks for watching.